Okay, dude. So back from church. Church was great as usual. Today, Pastor Barnes preached from 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1 through 7. And the title of his sermon was Trying to Do the Right Thing, but Doing It the Wrong Way. Something along those lines. In that part of the Bible, they were supposed to be moving the ark, and they didn't do it the way that they were taught to do it. They were trying to do it in a new way by using a cart. And, in order to move this ark, you had to be a Levite. And I think the pronunciation of his name is Uzzah, Uzzah. He touched the ark and he got stricken down because he was not a Levite. And basically what Pastor was saying when he was preaching this sermon was that we do things, we mean well, but we do them in the wrong way. Basically being disobedient. We try to honor God and glorify God, but in disobedience. Like, you can't be disobedient with God. There are like major consequences for being disobedient. It's better to be obedient to sacrifice, and that is true. But for me, this means, like, in your day-to-day life. It doesn't even have to be just when you're in church, but we know that you're a Christian. You're not just a Christian on Sundays, but this is for all the time. I was speaking with someone yesterday, and they were really upset with someone, and this person came to them quite humble, and this person was frustrated and had enough and was just going off on this person. And it's a good example of doing something right but in the wrong way. The message had to get across to the person. The person needed to hear what was being said, but the way the other person was presenting it was not in the best ways. And that goes to say that we have to do self-checks. We have to die to our flesh daily. Our flesh is going to have us wanting to do things and say things that aren't at all what the Spirit would have us to do. And we have to be obedient enough to listen to what the Spirit is saying. Regardless of how amped up you feel, regardless of how someone has hurt you, you still have to go about things in the right way. And we know that as Christians, we are to uplift, provoke each other to good works. So we have to do that. But also pertaining to ministry, we want to, do new things. We want to be innovative. We want to reach people in different ways. And I'm all for, like, using social media to reach and spread the gospel and things like that, because it's a great community, a great way to do that. But there are some people that go about it in the wrong way. I've had someone tell me that, one, I shouldn't be teaching on Twitter because I'm a female. And I also had someone say that Baptist people, just crazy things. And it's like, okay, you have zeal and stuff for Christ, but you have no biblical substance. You're just going off of what you feel and what you're saying, and that's not going about it in the right way. Sometimes we can get so passionate about the Word of God that we forget the Word of God. Like, if that makes sense to you. Like, when something happened with a bunch of gay people, I think it was the Grammys, and I guess gay people got married. I personally didn't watch the Grammys, but apparently that, and Christians were going like crazy about it and saying some really mean things. And it's like, the zeal is there, but you're not doing it in the right way. Yes, we hate the sin, but we don't hate the sinner. And homosexuality is not the only sin that is out there. That is one of the biggest sins that is like, made seen and made known through media and things like that. But there are other sins too that people partake in. But you can't just like be so hateful towards people because that's what they're. And I know, because I say this too, it's not our judgment, it's God's judgment. I mean, it is. But you can't just be so hateful and go at people like that. you're trying to send a good message, but you're going about it in the wrong way. And that's why people aren't so willing to listen to Christians when they speak. Like, you have Jehovah Witnesses going and doing whatever, but time a Christian comes up and says Jesus, they get kind of, I don't want to hear that. Mainly because they don't like the God we serve, but also because of the approach that we give. We have to go about things in the right way. We have to reach people in a way that's able for them to be reached. You can't just do all these things and expect results. You're going to attract more bees with honey than with vinegar. And I'm not saying to water down the word at all, because that is not at all what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, you have a good motive, do it in the right way. Be obedient to what God is telling you to do. The Spirit is within you. He is leading you. You know when you're doing something that's not what God is having you to do, because you do not have peace with it. And if you've already done it, you don't have peace with what you've done. God's letting you know, hey, that wasn't cool. Hey, that wasn't the way that I would have you to do it. And you know that. So we have to, before we do things, especially in ministry, whatever outreach, whatever you're doing, you have to make sure, okay, God, is this what you would have me to do? If not, please reveal to me what you would have me to do. Help me to do what you want me to do. You know, things like that. And then it'll be less of doing things for good, but in the wrong way, which ends up hurting more than helping. And we want to help and do good. So that's my little take from the sermon today. I hope that it helps and encourages and shed light to you in some way. Beautiful day outside. Kind of chilly, but I think it's supposed to warm up just a tad. Beautiful blue skies. So yeah. If you love someone, tell them I love you. Bye.